by the beginning of my senior year, I'd start looking for jobs or graduate school.
Everybody's going to ask you in grad school, why do you want to come to our program? Who do you want to work with? And what do you think that you can provide or benefit our program with your presence? Those three questions have to be answered. And so I often tell them before I come in and guide them, because I really want to see what they come up with that, then we talk about it, and then we can start cultivating something else.
Communication is valuable for a wide range of jobs, but what's important is that a communication studies graduate know how to frame herself as a communication expert. But if you emphasize the unique value of relationship skills, of team building, of oral communication, it will make you competitive for many jobs.
Go on to, Google and Monster and just search for anything that's within a related field. So if you like sports, try and go work for the Raiders. I mean, the worst thing that's going to happen, right? Or the Niners, whatever. The worst thing that's going to happen is that they're going to say no, right? And then you just pick yourself back up and you keep trying.
Networking is very important, especially when you're looking for a job, when you're entering the workforce. I would attend luncheons that were open to the public. Those are great avenues to meet new people or interests that you may know about or may not. Leadership programs, fellowship programs, these are all great avenues to build your skills and also network in the process. Because it's important of who you know, but also who knows you.
You learn techniques and styles of how to communicate with people. And in any networking I've done before, during, or since, it's all revolved around just good conversation, sincerity, and making myself available to people.
LinkedIn's probably the best place for you to market yourselves and clean up your social media profiles too. They'll look at your past Twitter comments, they'll look at your past Facebook comments if they're public.
Attention to detail is number one. So read that job call, know that job call, outline that job call, figure out exactly what it is that they want you to tell them, and then tell them that. Don't tell them more, don't tell them less. Tell them what they're asking for.
When you're writing your cover letter, you have to avoid doing a stock cover letter.
Keep it short and sweet. If your resume is more than a page long, then it's probably going to get looked over.
You should change it every single time for every single job. Never be the person who prints off 10 copies and just takes them to all the same place.
Keep it readable. People are concerned that, oh, my resume won't get read because it's going to go through a computer and they're just looking for key terms. Yeah, resumes get filtered through that, but the ones that do get filtered through still need to be personable, right for a person.
Have a lot of people review your resume. Even when you think it's the best, it's probably not.
We have a career center here on campus, and it has a lot of valuable resources and information. They help you create a resume and cover letters. They have lots of handouts. They actually have information about graduate school. They have actually an online resource tool, so you can actually create your resume online and then have a professional review it before you send it out into the workforce.
Not being discouraged, even if you've sent out 10 or 15 resumes. When I first started out, I think I sent out 25 resumes and I heard from 0 people. And then I sent out 3 more like a month later, and then I had a job.
Don't give up. You will get a lot of rejection letters, a whole lot of them, but you just have to keep going.
I think you need to make sure that you have a portfolio available in 2 ways. You want to have primarily a really tight online portfolio, because the majority of your employers are going to want to see what you have to offer as far as the most basic web programming skills. They're not going to expect you to be like a master of Dreamweaver, but you ought to at least be able to put together a WordPress site or something else that looks very basic, at least like a website. Don't make people scrounge through and click a lot of things. Make them be able to see immediately who you are through this portfolio. But you also want to have a standard paper portfolio available. Think about the things that you have learned to do here. You're 4 years here or 5 years, however long it takes you to graduate. You have learned an enormous amount, and do not short sell yourself.
It's a lot about tenacity, I feel like, as a graduating senior, and not being discouraged. Because, real world is you're probably not going to get your dream job immediately following graduation. You're probably going to have to work a little bit to get into a position that's going to make you more well-rounded for it.
I think the best advice for a recent grad is to remember that there are people who are still willing to support you here at the institution. And there are folks out there who have gone through what you're about to go through and are willing to help.